A virtual platform seemed not only the obvious choice, but has been an excellent experience since we were able to bring some of the best minds from the global business world. Today, our session will shed light on the opportunities and challenges of e-commerce entrepreneurship in the era of COVID-19. Our distinguished speakers represent entrepreneurs across OIC region. Their businesses operate along multiple sectors, for example, logistics, art and crafts, agri-food, and metals and steel. So please welcome with me Mr. Salim Najjar, the co-founder of Sharky Shop, Mr. Abdurrahman Hifni, the co-founder and CEO of Vendor Metals, Mr. Muaz Bani, the founder of Supplyfy Me and a member of Startup Bahrain, and Mr. Abdurrahman Ahmed Al-Maghrabi, he's the commercial manager of Fawrin. He will be joining in just a few seconds. So thank you all for joining us today. Starting with Mr. Salim, the co-founder of Sharky Shop. Sharky Shop is a social enterprise platform that enables artists in Jordan and Syria to sell their products internationally. So can you please tell us about yourself and share with us a brief about Sharky Shop?
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Salim Najjar. I'm a Syrian entrepreneur and I'm based in Europe and Jordan. And I run Sharky Shop, an online marketplace that enabling artisans in Jordan to sell their products around the world. So maybe I can share my screen so I can share some interesting facts about what we're doing. So the whole idea came up from the fact that 4 out of 5 Syrian artisans have stopped working on their professions, more than 80% of them. So we were centric to help them sell more products and come back to their professions and to help the remaining one to survive. So we're talking about more than 100,000 Syrians who can do crafts, and they are in Jordan. But we try to help them to sell their products online at first as some initiatives, and we couldn't because of like bad photos. They couldn't ship outside, and they can't open a bank account. So receiving payments from outside was a pain for them. So that's why we launched Sharky Shop. I had, me and my co-founder, some experience in e-commerce, and we thought we can sell these products online and help those artisans. So, but we need that. It's not only an e-commerce platform. So this is the challenge from an e-commerce point of view. It wasn't only like building the tech side of the company and providing the artisans with control panels so they upload their products. So we needed to do more steps than only an e-commerce platform. So first, we needed to provide them with a professional photographer. We needed to integrate our system with DHL so they can have a shipping method. So we needed to create for each one of them an e-wallet so they can receive their payments since they can't open a bank account. So a collection of services, this is what we call Sharky Shop, and it's customized for artisans in Jordan. After launching, we discovered that, or even Jordanian artisans have similar problems. So we open also for Jordanian artisans to join the platform. So currently we paid for to artisans more than $200,000. We have around 130 artisans working for us. Most of them are women. And we are tackling a market size that our tab or all our market is according to a study we've done with PwC and UNICEF, $32 billion market. So we would like to increase this, and we have lead some initiatives in the World Bank, especially after we introduced what collection of services we have, and we introduce another thing with the support from the World Bank. So what happened with the World Bank was a big step for us. The step is when we introduce in some conferences how we trained those 130 artisans to do the packaging, to do the photos, to help them tell the story about themselves, so how they do their social marketing by themselves. The World Bank said they have a project to train 2,000 small businesses in Jordan. So we extended this to help them. So this is one of our session where we're training 400 companies on design thinking, like artisans. One of the problem we are seeing that small businesses or artisans, when they come up to sell online, they still competing like they are competing local, but competition online is very different story. So this is the idea, the concept we would like from design thinking. So we also do one-to-one session or 5-to-1 session with expert product designer experts, with those artisans, to come up with a new product that suits the market. So the idea here, what I would like to say, it's not enough like bringing all the handmade items, for us at least, putting them online and doing marketing. That wasn't enough. So the missing element where we saw back then, that those products need to be boosted in the mindset of the artisans and the quality of the products in terms of design and materials. So here's, for example, where we redesigned praying rocks, for example. And here's where we redesigned one of cosmetic products. So we can go through this along. After COVID, it was very hard to train artisans one-to-one or in sessions. So we're working on our online incubator, what we call it online incubator, but it's mainly a training incubator that artisans or small businesses, is designed for small businesses, where they can move step by step, so they reach the final step where they can increase their sales by selling online. So this is a little bit about our journey. Hopefully I was short. I usually talk a lot.
Thank you so much, Salim. That was very informative. Now let's welcome Mr. Abdurrahman Hifni, the co-founder and the CEO of Vendor Metals, which is the first B2B e-commerce marketplace for metals in Egypt. Please share with us the idea behind Vendor and talk more with us about your education and brief about yourself.
Thank you, Ron, for the introduction. My name is Abdurrahman. I've been working in the steel industry for the past 5 years in the family business, it's been operating in the steel and distribution industry for the past 40 years. Let me just share with you the screen. I'll talk to you about what we're aiming to do and the project that we're working on right now. So it goes without saying that 2020 was the year of e-commerce growth, which is why we're having this webinar right now. But we're starting to see those trends on e-commerce in industries that you wouldn't normally expect. And one of those industries is the steel distribution industry. This industry is one that's been operating the way it has been for the past 60 years. Let me walk you through a basic traditional procurement process. I'm not going to walk you through step by step, but you can see that it's very hectic, it's very complicated, and it's very traditional. You should usually go from 10 to 15 steps from sourcing to procurement in order to procure a product. This is an industry that is very fragmented, that is complicated. It's prone to inventory and return problems, and all of that is due to lack of information from both the seller and the buyer side. This has led to inefficient inventory and stock levels, long lead times, and inefficient pricing and high price points. And this is where vendor comes in, aiming to digitally disrupt and transform the steel distribution industry by creating the first B2B e-commerce marketplace for the metals industry. Now, VendorCo is a sister company of Esco Group, which, as I said before, is a family-owned business that's been working in this industry for the past 30 years. And our mission is to digitally transform the materials distribution industry by empowering businesses to make better purchase decisions, and providing them with a better experience, a superior customer service, and better quality. Now, we envision VendorCo to be the leading marketplace for materials trading in the META region. In our first phase, we'll be selling products that we usually and normally are currently selling offline right now. And these products fall within a lot of segments. They are used in home appliances. They're used in the automobile industry. They're used in several industries, especially in the construction industry. Most of our customers are factories, OEMs, contractors, and we're basically dealing with procurement managers of those entities. Now, we provide services for both the buyer side and the seller side. For the buyer, we're providing procurement management services in which they can easily procure, purchase their products easily by saving time and money. They'll be able to negotiate and discuss prices and delivery times, and also pay online. We also provide, in alignment with our mission, we provide sales and quality support, top quality sales support, which is something that is lacking a bit in this industry, given its traditional way of operating. We're also providing engineer-to-order services in which companies can procure and order cut-to-size and customized products. Companies will also be able to track their orders and track their shipments. We also provide payment facilities. Right now, we're providing payment facilities of around 30 days, but we plan on pushing it to 120 in the future. As for the seller, we're providing them with a wider reach in which they can increase their sales and lower their sales costs. Buyers or sellers will also be provided with sales data and information, so they can be able to make take actionable steps and actual data in order to manage their inventory. Our supplier portal, that the supplier uses, also has the ability to manage and allow them to manage their inventory. So they can update their stocks, submit their inventory levels, and update their prices. They'll also get notified with the products that are short in stock, so they don't lose any sales. So we also provide streamlined logistics. We provide logistics services for the seller, from transportation to warehousing services. This is just a small overview of the website. We were adamant on providing both the buyer and the seller with a very convenient and easy user experience, given their background, especially that they are not. This is something that is new to the customer, so they're not really tech savvy in terms of navigating something new to them, something of this level. So thank you. This is just a brief introduction.
This is very interesting. Thank you so much, Abdurrahman.
Thank you.
Moving to Mr. Muaz Baini, the founder of Supplify and the member of Startup Bahrain. Supplify is a platform that aims to digitize the local supply chain and connect suppliers and manufacturers with the buyers and assist in finding the best supplies in Yemen and Bahrain. And they're looking forward to expand in the Gulf countries. So Mr. Muaz, can you please give us a quick introduction about yourself and a brief about Supplify?
Thank you very much, Nurhan, and thank you for all the panelists and the attendees. I'm very glad and grateful for this opportunity. And I thank Islamic Chamber for this great webinar that inshallah will benefit all of us, and we learn from each other. Great ideas I heard earlier, mashallah. And about me, Muaz Bani, I'm originally from Hadramaut, south of Yemen. And currently I'm Supplify based on Bahrain, and it was part of Bahrain, Startup Bahrain ecosystem, not the community itself, part of the community, I mean. Currently, we are operating also in Yemen, where we find there is a huge opportunity as we are focusing on agri-food and agriculture and the food industry in general. That's our priority. So Supplify, from the name, you can know that it's simplifying supplies. So it's a brand that aims to simplify supplies and connect suppliers directly with the vendors and also the end users and the consumers. So there is a huge opportunity in this industry, the food, especially also if you go business to business, focusing on HoReCa, which is the hotel, restaurants, and catering, where they need to streamline the workflow of ordering the daily supplies. I don't know if I can go to the slides now, or what you think better, yeah?
Yes,
would be
sure.
better to we go to the presentation. I have a short presentation that will be more visual for the audience, if you please. Nurhan, thank you. So the next slide, please. So yeah, Supplify is focusing on agri-food and digitizing the local supply chain and connect the suppliers, manufacturer, and food processors with businesses directly to streamline the working flow and searching for searching products or ordering the supplies. Focusing on agri-food and food industry as a start, as we explained earlier. So currently today, the next slide, please, the three slides together. Today, the current ordering methods are using, especially on HoReCa, the study case that we did, is door-to-door and calls until today. Now some of them have using WhatsApp and also emails as well, to order their supplies. So the next slide will be explaining about the problem. Why did we focus on solving this problem? Farmers and manufacturers are having a humble presence online, and it's a huge market that is having a lot of data and need a lot of analytics that will improve the industry and also help the buyer, first of all, to save times, like it's consuming time for buyers to compare prices, compare products, and so on, and to find the supplier. So currently, also it will affect, it's affecting actually the manufacturers to know what the market needs and what is the clients are needing more, and to know having a direct connection with the users and the buyers. That is always will help in the marketplace that we're building and Supplify as an e-commerce platform. We can go to the next slide, please. This is a dashboard. This is actually multilingual. We have in Arabic and English. It's a simple dashboard that can be integrated also with other point of sales or anything software that manufacturer or the user is having. If the user or the supplier doesn't have a dashboard or a point of sale, this will be solving for the inventory and to know the sales and to know the customers' inquiries, etc., etc. So we have a lot of features. It will take long if we explain in details, but yeah, the next slide will explain also the front end, which is the user, where they can compare prices, they can compare products, and they find the suppliers of or farmers or any food processors in the local area, so by category or by location wise. Next slide, please. So yeah, business model we have is commission as fit. Yani we have this business model, maybe it's yani could be unique somehow, that we ask the suppliers to choose their own commission rate as best as for their products and their because different products, different costs, different way of commissioning. But also we have a fixed subscription fees for the platform to connect, as having links and data and the product list and the product. We have domains, subdomains, and we provide a lot of analytics for that. That will be cost by subscription. Next slide. So we have service plans, as I explained in the previous slides, that we have suppliers products list, suppliers list, and product list, and also inventory integration. So if you have any software, we can integrate with the API directly to help. Also, we aim in the future, not currently, but we aim also to have an automation of inventory reducing in your warehouse. We directly have it in the e-commerce platform, directly reduced, so you don't do the double work. Also, we are planning to directly, also we already have today, open point of sale integration. So if you have your own software, we can integrate with any software directly. Thank you. The team is myself, Muad Bani. I'm the founder and CEO of Supplify, and also my friend and my CTO is Munir Makhrama. He's also from Hadramaut, and we are currently building a mobile application as well to enhance the service and experience.
Perfect. Thanks. Now moving to Mr. Ahmed Al-Maghrabi, who is the commercial manager at Fawran, which is the first third-party logistics provider for e-commerce companies and startups in Egypt. So please, Ahmed, tell us more about Fawran and its services, please.
Hello, Nurhan, and thank you for the introduction. And I'm very thrilled to be among those great panelists, Salim, Abdurrahman, and Muaz. I've been working in the e-commerce field and digital marketing for almost 10 years. The story behind Fawran, almost years ago, when I met Khalid. Khalid is now currently Fawran CEO, and he is the guy behind the digital transformation of Cotonil. For guys out of Egypt, Cotonil is one of the biggest brands in Egypt in the homeware and underwear sector. So we began campaigning and we began making promotions and so on, and get a lot of traffic and sales into his online store. But unfortunately, Cotonil with the 20,000 employees cannot fulfill the online orders. Their structure and the design for the organization only serves the retail sector. So they don't have the capabilities and the technology to serve the online sector. So we come up with the concept of Fawran. And Fawran in Arabic means instant or right now. The concept of fulfillment. The middle mile is the main obstacle for e-commerce businesses. So let's go through the presentation. I would show some figures. Okay. As you know, Egypt is one of the most promising emerging markets in the world, and Egypt is one of few countries make positive growth during the COVID pandemic. Egypt was a population with 100 million people, so it's very a huge market. And according to latest statistics, around 25% of users use credit card, and nowadays also the government are enforcing people to use more the online payment as a plan for financial inclusion. Okay. That's some quick figures about Egyptian market. But what about fulfillment and what about e-commerce industry in the last year? We began the concept of forum for fulfillment and middle mile. Middle mile, it includes warehousing, storage, management, and fulfillment and dispatching. We are already partnering with Egypt top 10 couriers like Aramex, FedEx, and Samsa, and local players like R2S, Posta, and Milers, and so on. So we began with the concept of fulfillment. After a while, we began to diversify and expand in our services. All our services are serving what we are called in e-commerce pre-last mile service. The last mile is the shipping service. What is pre-last mile is a lot of process and a huge supply chain, starting with first mile, and it's a pickup from the vendor or the manufacturer or the producer. The middle mile, the warehousing and inventory management and dispatching, and we are managing the last mile. We are not doing the last mile. So we come up with a concept of Foreign Express, and I will show you the presentation again. Sorry. We began with Foreign CPL. So we are serving middle mile only to inventory management. So we began with Foreign, so it expanded with Foreign Express. We are coming with the concept of courier aggregator. Courier aggregator, it means we are providing our merchants with the service. He has the ability to choose the courier he wants at any moment. Unfortunately, courier's performance is not consistent. You can't rely on only one courier at a time. So we are making the big providing an extra service for the courier. They do love this service, but this service is in the beta version and the pipeline and be launched after 2 months, inshallah, officially. Then we come up with the concept of Forum Plus, or a pickup from first mile, or the drop shipping. So my online seller don't have to invest more money in COGS, or cost of goods sold. So we are buying on behalf of them, and that's already launched, and we are in the scaling phase in Forum Plus. That's this Forum in a nutshell. Forum Express, Forum 3PL, and Forum Plus. That's our main service right now. We already started operations, I think, 1 year and 2 months. Right now, we got a lot of brands, and we were surprised with the huge demand on our services. A lot of international brands and local suppliers are interested in our services. We are expanding for now in a lot of cities, to be discussed in the end of our presentation about the new plans. That is a nutshell about Forum.
Yeah, perfect. And which industries do you think are going to flourish post-COVID-19?
Okay, COVID-19. COVID-19 has a positive impact for the e-commerce industry. I have seen grocery and FMCG industry flourished. Basically, our initial plan to double our operations during the COVID, but we got 10x the regular demand during the COVID. I have seen 100 kilograms orders in grocery, and this is tremendous. And I have seen that cosmetics industry was doing very well, very well during the COVID. The homeware industries, operations during the COVID, and the FMCG, and consumer behavior has been changed dramatically during the COVID. People are encouraged to rely more on the e-commerce during the daily activities. I think COVID has a great impact on e-commerce industry, and we get a lot of lessons for logistics part. How to stretch your operations in the peak season, Black Friday, in the Ramadan peaks, and so on. So I think it was very beneficial from this experience for all logistics sector. Also, we are, according to COVID, we cannot rely on China for all products. So we are supporting now more our local suppliers. So that results in flourishing of a lot of dropshipping platform in Egypt, like Fawran Plus, like Tagger, like Taggerly, and a lot of dropshipping platform supporting the local suppliers. So you can now start your e-commerce business without any investment or huge capital. That's the impact of COVID, and a huge difference between 2020 and 2021 in the mindset and the infrastructure and a lot of aspects.
Yeah. And from your own experience, what are the challenges that are facing young entrepreneurs that are entering the market right now?
Okay. 10 years ago, I have started my first e-commerce business. And you can imagine e-commerce business 10 years ago, lacking of resources and experience and supporting system. Nowadays, we got a lot of supporting aids like users, a lot of experience to be shared through a lot of professionals in the industry, like the great panelists over here. And like us, and a lot of solutions. We have a lot of couriers. I think we got in Egypt about 700 couriers registered, and it's a huge number with a postal license. And there are some people don't work with postal license, and so we don't count them. A lot of middle mile suppliers. It's not only Fawran, so they are other players enter the market. So the solutions, I think nowadays they got a lot of solutions, and even the capital barrier is not an obstacle anymore. So you can start your dropshipping business without a huge, a little money. You just start campaigning, or even there is a great business model in Egypt and C2C sales. The guys behind Primor are doing well in this field. So ladies and housewives can start their own business from their location. Not only in Cairo and Upper Egypt and Delta, they are doing well and making money out of no investment and no even budget for advertising. But I think the main obstacle in e-commerce supply chain is still the logistics and transportation. And even I think government in Egypt are doing well in the file of transportation and logistics. So it's only the logistics, but we come up with a solution for it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ahmed. For all the attendees, please submit your comments and questions to be shared with our panelists. And as you know, the e-commerce industry is a fast-growing sector with demand going through the roof and more people adopting this stress-free method of shopping. It faces certain challenges ranging from economical to technological and down to social. So Salim, from your own point of view, what are the entrepreneurs' challenges in the art and craft sector, in this unique sector specifically?
Yeah, thank you, Nurhan. So the craft sector in general has got affected in COVID-19 since many orders were lost during the lockdown, for example. Not all the crafts people can make their products in-house, so they needed sometimes they lost their access to suppliers, for example. So they used to go to West Al Balad in Amman and get their supplies, but this wasn't the case. So we needed to come up with a new solution, like training them how to order their raw materials from Alibaba or AliExpress, for example. So many challenges come up. Also, when you sell small business products or crafts products, it's not the same like when you buy any brand online. So when you buy any famous brand online, like when you buy Gucci or iPhone, you know what you're buying exactly. So you're not afraid from what will be happening. But when you buy new handmade item, you don't know the quality, you don't know a lot about this product. So there is an obvious barrier in marketing. So your marketing need to be very efficient when you sell something new. So first barrier is accessing. We said like accessing suppliers. Second barrier is doing a proper marketing for their products, not wasting money doing the wrong type of marketing, of digital marketing. Third is understanding the customers. So small businesses or small manufacturers are focused on so the process of developing new products is missing from them. So they don't try to understand as big companies do. They try to understand customers, doing interviews, the whole process of doing new products. This is not the case with the small manufacturers. They do what they like, what they find on Pinterest, sorry, and this is a random process, not educated. So we would like to help them. That's why we launched Sharqi Training, the online incubator. We're trying to help them how to come up with the products that the markets want, that the customer really wants. Since once you advertise it to him on social media or whatever, he's trying to find out this. So product design or design thinking is another challenge for them. Introducing a story, like people buy because of beautiful photos, beautiful story behind the products. We need to put the extra effort to help them in this area, to help them how to tell their story, how artisans who from our point of view, artisans who manage to tell or to present a good presence, a good story, they sell 3 times from the ones, even the products maybe lower quality, but they selling three times more than the ones who are not willing to introduce their stories through social media stories, through posts on Facebook, through videos. All of this stuff, we need like to do the extra mile for them to help them compete on international level. So selling online is very great, but you're competing with the global players now. Some people say e-commerce is not for smaller players anyhow, but we're working on niche products, and we need to introduce those niche products very well. Like for example, the Bagamon Tawlet al-Zahr. When this is not a product like you can find it anywhere, handmade, very good quality. So when we introduce it to the market, a lot of people want to buy it. But again, quality check, for example, is another challenge. We need to do quality check for each item we ship. So this is another logistic barrier for us, or thing for us. But this is in general, I guess, the e-commerce challenges. Like for a small business to enter, it's not enough to build an e-commerce website and uploading their products. It didn't work. I tried it. I've seen many startups trying it, like listing many products. It doesn't work. We need to help them with doing marketing, with enhancing products, with telling a story, with everything. So we need to provide. I would like to see the organization providing more support to such solutions that enhancing the access of small businesses to the market. For example, in Jordan, there is a startup called Bilfirin, helping ladies who are cooking homemade food to sell through their app. So such umbrella startups need to be pushed, I guess.
Yes, definitely. Very interesting. Now moving to Mr. Muaz, can you please share with us the challenges in your sector that's facing e-commerce entrepreneurs, in the region and specifically in the Gulf region?
I mean, it's almost the same challenges. I mean, my colleagues, earlier speakers, mashallah, they covered most of the same issues and challenges that I am facing as in Supplify. I think the differences is very small differences in terms of the focus or the niche, as Mr. Salim said, yani, different small differences. Yani. But I will talk in general in Bahrain. We have an issue of these suppliers are afraid of, in the food industry in particular, the suppliers or the sellers in general who are dealing with the farmers and things are feeling threatened somehow due to the price, sharing the price, because we are encouraging always to compare prices. You need to show the prices, and then they get afraid from the competition. So we are doing some kind of solution for them that you can provide some of your prices as the best. So they have some friendly, relationship with X, Y, Z. So they are afraid of that. That's the most challenging of sharing the prices of the manufacturers, since they have different levels due to quantity, due to other location-wise, logistically, where is the product is located and where is the buyer is buying. So these calculations made some issues for them to get digitized. They are until today using phones and stuff. For example, in Bahrain, the infrastructure is good, but this are the challenges. But in Yemen, for example, where we are expanding now, is the challenges in the infrastructure is low. So we don't have coverage of 4G or 3G in most of the areas, the internet limited access. But there is a huge opportunity, especially due to COVID-19 pandemic, where actually most of them, they noticed that there is either do or die. So either they go live or go digital, or they will go out of the market, because even the smaller or other competitors, anyone go live or go digital, they get the market share. They take from the other market share, even if the quality is lower, even if the price is higher. So that is the challenges, and now that's the wave that we are joining actually, because as one of the speakers, I think, explained or talked about the customer or market behavior, I call it. The customer acquisition is easier now to get. So you just need to provide and contact, and some of them are actually contacting you more than what you can, handle or manage. But that is how you go forward due to this opportunity. Other challenges is that big players, like, I don't want to call names or give any brand's name, but I think most of the social media now in general and big players in social media are conquering this market. So you find them go to marketplaces within their own platforms, and they have directly competing with even with fintech, like the payment solution, or also with other services that we are focusing on in e-commerce and marketplaces in general. They are conquering that, and they have the big database. But as the guys also said, we are in the same boat, I guess, that we are focusing on going to the last, localize. I call it localization. This is this is how we can overcome the competition, and we go directly with the needs, and also focusing on having better services, understanding the needs. For example, in Yemen in general, we have a great actually agri-food base. We are famous of for example, the coffee bean. We are currently working with farmers directly to introduce and pack it in better ways, and market it for the Gulf in direct ways. Because in the Gulf also, like Saudi Arabia and Bahrain and also UAE, they mentioned that we have a good quality of products, but there is lack of continuous direct يعني ordering. We cannot find the suppliers or finding the resources, and that's what we are aiming for in general. I hope that I explained answered the question correctly. Thank you. I will give it a chance. You're on mute.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry. Yes. Thanks, Mr. Moaz, so much. Now moving to Mr. Abdurrahman, and knowing that vendor is totally a new promising sector in the Egyptian e-commerce market. Of course, it has its opportunities and challenges. So please share with us more about vendor and more about the opportunities and challenges. I think, okay. Yes, Abdurrahman is here with us now. You're muted.
Sorry. Yeah. So to answer your question, one of the biggest opportunities, which I think is not only specific to vendors, specific to any e-commerce, is that e-commerce allows you to grow exponentially. You're not limited by your offline assets and what you can do offline. You can, one of the main opportunities that we have is that we can easily diversify our product offerings, reach new markets and new customers, and lower our overhead costs and thus increasing our margins. This is something that I think e-commerce does very well, and this is why it's so promising, especially those days. For me, the biggest challenge, especially because we're dealing B2B, we're dealing with companies, we're dealing with procurement managers. We're not dealing with one-time buyers. So the relationship with our customers has to be very closely managed, at least for now, because it's something that is new to the market. And so it's something that we have to focus on. It increases our costs to really have to manage the relationship with the customers very closely. Also, in our market, customers are accustomed to negotiating. Like if you give them any price, they want to negotiate, whether it's the lowest price they've ever seen, but they would like to negotiate, especially in the B2B mindset or concept. And I think I can relate to one of the problems that Moaz talked about, which is the cost and having the cost available and viewed across the platform. I would like to talk with you more about that, maybe separately. But yeah, that's basically the challenges and opportunities, one of the main ones.
Yeah, and what about opportunities as well? Because it's a very promising sector in the e-commerce market. So what are the opportunities that you think is existing?
Well, as I said in the beginning, opportunities are being able to have a wider reach and being able to streamline the purchasing process through digital assets, making it very easy and more convenient to businesses and buyers to buy online. Companies are starting to trust e-commerce more, especially after COVID, and maybe B2B, given that the steel is a very heavy industry and the ticket sizes are very high, we still have an opportunity to capitalize on that, especially that the high ticket prices will have to move offline, different payment terms. Like right now we're dealing with checks, we're dealing with bank transfers, which is something that is not available online, or there is no payment gateway for to accommodate such high ticket prices.
Thank you so much, Abdurrahman. Thank you all so much for the Q&A part from our attendees. So one of them is saying, thank you for the valuable information shared. I would like to know if you are looking to expand your business outside your current areas, and if yes, what is the process to do so? So Ahmed, would you like to take this question?
Okay, currently we are already planning to expand our business out of Cairo and out of Egypt. We are already partnering with a lot of fulfillment centers in Shenzhen and China and Los Angeles and Netherlands and so on. If I, for a warehouse business, if we're looking for expand, just you need a franchise manual, the SOP, the process guide that can give a location. Just as a process and governance and organization, good organizational structure and so on. That's it. The for warehouse businesses. Already you are scaling the operations and you already the core of the operations. The marketing activity and a lot of other activities you can't drive locally or internationally from your place. But the operations is very hard to tackle when expanding out of your country or area. We already have cases, a regional player in the dropshipping business, he can't afford, also they have the capital, they can't afford the expansion easily in Egypt. So they are partnering with us to start their business in Egypt. It's very hard to scale operations due to a lot of reasons. That's it. I think that's the main obstacle for expanding business model, right? Like Fawran in other countries.
Thank you, Ahmed. What about you, Salim?
Sure. So we already shipping our products all over the world. So but in terms of understanding the customer, so for example, when we tried to go to unlock the European market, we needed to design a product that suits the European customer. So for example, before we used nylon to cover the products or plastic in our products, so the European customer doesn't really fan about this material, so we remove them. We use only recycled material. So we tried like to do some interviews in the terms of the process. When you introduce new products to new market, you need to do interviews to understand how the market thinks about it. We done some market sizing to know how many customers are in those areas, and what language we need to talk with. For example, in France, when we sell in France, we do all marketing in French. If we do any marketing in English, we won't be getting any customer, or like 80% of our customer will be just drop in France, for example. So when in terms of unlocking new markets, you need to think about the market sizing, how many customers are there, what their customer different from our local customers. So most of our products goes to Gulf. Now we start receiving orders from the European market. So I guess this is a process to do efficient marketing. The marketing is very, very tricky in e-commerce. It's very easy like to spend a lot of money getting very minimum customer. So, and it's much competitive in European market, for example. That's why we're trying to be very smart about our marketing spending or our marketing strategy. So understanding each marketing, so it depends about understanding the customer, how you will reach out to him. So I guess this is how entrepreneurs in general need to think about this.
Thank you so much, Salim. Muayez, would you like to add anything?
I mean, I would think, again, I would say localization. It's the opportunity is always in localization, going local, and understand your clients and your customer. Add value, always add value. I mean, like, you find opportunities as you go. You cannot just rely on having the product and the price and the good images. And that is like, any platform can do that. So the adding value, always the way that you connect. So for example, on Supplyfy, we are aiming to connect directly with integration. So the client doesn't have to do the work twice. He doesn't need to do that and then in their own local point of sale or inventory system, and then again in our inventory dashboard and on the platform. There is always, like, we have an issue. For example, in Yemen market, I found a lot of suppliers and manufacturers. They said if you can provide, and even suppliers, like, would they have exclusive brands within the local location? And Yemen market is a huge market. I mean, like, in terms of population and also like geographical location also. So they said that if you can arrange, as Supplyfy can arrange logistic, like for delivery, we will sign with you immediately and we will give you a better, rate of transaction, etc., etc. So some kind of business deals. So they see the value. They need more value to have, to encourage them, especially they are traditional. They are very physical. They are very, physical. I mean, in terms of like doing their current business, the current method is very physical and very traditional in some ways. Some of them, they don't deal with outside of the family business, So the reason, what I'm trying to say, when you localize, you try to go there to understand them and provide the solution. This is actually the advantage and the strength that we have as startups and the small entrepreneurs and small businesses. I'm talking about myself actually. That is easier for directly to go to have flexibility to adapt to their needs and to adapt with the market needs. And when you are working, you need to keep an open mind always to have adding service, adding value as you go and as you is the market need. I will add that. I will close with that. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Muaz. There is another question, which is a better business model, to create my own e-commerce website or to use existing established platform like Amazon, Noon, and Souq. What do you think, Salim?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for this great question, Mu'taz. So each one of these approaches has its advantage and disadvantage. So let me tell you about creating your own online e-commerce website. So it's very easy. So now there are many platforms. So one of the platform I co-founded in 2012, it's called ShopGo. We made an exit, so now it's acquired by another Jordanian startup. And so it's but there are many other solutions like Zed in Saudi Arabia, like Shopify, the global solution. But if you're focusing on Arab interface, so you need to find local solution. Shopify, you can customize it, but it's not very customizable in terms of Arabic. So in general, there are many easy solutions to start an e-commerce platform now. But but when you need to integrate it, for example, with a payment gateway, you need to have a registered company. So first question is, do you have a registered company? Or you are still in the testing phase? So if you have a registered company, you can easily connect your platform with DHL, with Aramex, and with payment gateway like Payfort, or other or Hyperbay or other players in this market. So technically wise, it's easy to create your platform, but at the same time, when you create your own platform, now this is a business. This is a separate business. Like when you need to start driving traffic, and you need to start thinking about the funnels, how the conversion rate, how are the customers buying your products or not? Are you targeting the right customers? So all of these questions, this is a business. Creating an e-commerce platform is easy. Doing it as a full business is not a common sense for many people. There is a norm now, like e-commerce is very easy, anyone can do it. I don't think this is the case. It's a competitive market. So before you launch an e-commerce business, be ready for it. The other way, selling your products, I tried both. I tried selling my products over my platform and over Amazon and other players, eBay and other. So the great thing, like they driving a lot of traffic to their platform. So your products might be sold. But for example, in Amazon, if you don't have reviews on your products, no one will buy from you. So we start giving coupons, giving a lot of marketing. So people start writing reviews for our products. But in some case, Amazon discovered that we are providing people coupons to do reviews, to write reviews, and they disabled our online shop. So bam, we close. So this is another concern when you're selling online. And this is a minority, not a few happen to them, but at the same time, when you have your own online platform, you own the data. You own the data of customers, the information, what's happening, what they are interested in. So you're developing your business based on data decision. While when you sell in Amazon, you don't know actually nothing about your customer. You don't have the data. You don't have their emails. You don't have the access to them. You don't understand their behavior, their interest. A lot of things you could understand. So you need like really to think about both solution. Like when you go to Amazon, you need to promote your products inside Amazon, and no one will buy it because they're very competitive, very a lot of challenge there. But again, this is depends on your products, on your strategy, and how you think about it. Is it another channel to sell their products, or it's a business, an online business you would like to start with? I will conclude with two examples. Like they managed to build an online store and to sell their products, even though they are very small businesses starting with. First is Salsal.com. They managed to sell their products online and reaching their products to the Gulf, and the online channel is the only channel for them through their online website, and they are very focused on it. Kashida.com. Kashida is another website that many customers are buying their products online, but they put a lot of effort, so they reach that level. So it's tricky, but there are successful stories in both approaches.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Salim. We're finished now. Thank you all our panelists for participating. This session was amazing and very informative. For all our attendees, there will be another session next month about e-commerce leaders and their success stories. Don't forget to follow our social media platforms to know all the details about it. Thank you so much, our panelists. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks
Bye-bye.
for having us. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.